Ep91 of TrustyHogs. Helen's taking a sip of her coffee, so I took the opportunity to get
cold.
in there and speak. How nice. Welcome. This is our podcast. I'm Catherine Bohart. This is Helen Bauer, and we talk about our lovely lives, and then we help our listeners with their problems.
True.
And gosh, we try not to be resentful about it, Helen Bauer. What was that tone?
Wait, who are you resentful of?
You were like, true.
Oh, like true as in like that's what we do.
Yeah. Okay.
I really want to drink this coffee.
I can really tell you're guzzling. Get your guzzle on, girl.
I only had one coffee this morning, and I didn't feel like I enjoyed it.
Okay, fine. Why?
Because Sunil wanted to do a self-tape, and I wanted to watch Malcolm in the Middle again because I've restarted it. And
You
it
were
was
helping
just
him with a tape?
Yeah.
What part were you playing?
A woman.
Woman. Generic woman.
Through the fog, step forth the trusty hogs. Yeah, you're gonna give them your problems and they will solve them. Or maybe they won't, and that's your problem. They'll have guests and Andrew White on the tech. Oh, it's Helen and Catherine as the trusty hogs. Trust the trusty hogs, or maybe not.
Okay, well, you might have noticed, Helen, that I'm sporting a little sunglasses chain.
You finally went full lesbian.
I'm
so proud of you.
It's so funny you
You've
should
been
say that.
arguing bisexual for so many years.
No.
Even though you've been strictly on the
Excuse me, I
train.
didn't go lesbian. I went librarian, and it is the same.
Lesbian
It is the same.
librarian
It's the same.
on the potato. Yeah.
Let me just say this. You'll notice it. I mean, you'll notice. I'm assuming people are watching the video like a Hawks. It's the same chain that Tamsin Kelly had, and I bought it on her influence. And also, in the same package, from Tiger, in the same package, I got this plug tidy. Have you ever had a plug tidy before? Helen, I almost
tidy?
orgasmed. You whack all the plugs in, and it goes into a little box, and you put it in the corner, and there's none of that mess. Oh,
Wait, do you mean a box? Wait, what is it? Wait.
But it has holes for the plugs to come out. Oh my god, it's so hot. I like, honest to God, my corner is so like my office is finished now. Anyway, listen, that's what I've been wanking to. But I was like, I bought this chain because I was like, Tamsin Kelly's cool. I'm gonna get this chain. I go out for a walk with my girlfriend. She's like, hey babe, you okay? I was like, yeah. And she's like, cool. Why are you dressed like that? And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, like an 85-year-old woman. And I was like, excuse me? And she was like, your glasses chain, those are for pensioners. And I was like, no, lots of young, hip, cool women.
They're young and hip.
Thank you.
That was for sure glasses chains for the pensioners that have passed away, because that was the thing when I was 4. So that generation's gone.
And then she was like, yeah, maybe, but the thing is, you make it old. And I was
Ellen.
I was like, I guess I'm making glasses chains geriatric again. But yeah, deeply insulting and very hurtful. But you like it, right?
I think they're really young.
You think I'm hip and cool?
100%.
Thank you so much.
My concern is that they're going to fall out though.
Oh, the coaster stuck to my glass and then
Catherine Bow.
No,
My
they're not going to fall
they're going
out.
to slip out all the time because like I had this
No,
for
it's tight. It's
filming
tight.
once, and I had to wear a glasses chain, and they were constantly on the floor. I
No,
kept breaking
very
my prop.
tight. We're good.
Okay, proud of you. You're thriving.
Thank you so much.
You know
I really
what?
am thriving.
We love a young woman going to Flying Tiger and treating herself to a plug tidy and a glasses chain.
And a picnic blanket. Don't mind if I do.
As if you don't already own you own a picnic blanket.
I own a picnic basket, but I didn't have a picnic blanket.
Oh my God, what would you do?
Well, the thing is, I have lovely blankets, and I was using them, but then the grass was sticking. Listen, we all have summer problems. You get it. Helen.
I have a picnic blanket, actually. I used to always steal Emma Black's, but now she's gone.
Yeah, you're going to want one of those.
Shit. Can I have one of your old ones?
No.
Oh, dear.
No. Helen, we've forgotten to congratulate Andrew.
Andrew, I'm so sorry. We did it off mic, in all fairness.
Congratulations, you kept a man for a year. Yes, boy.
Thank you very much.
For anyone new here, Andrew, would it be okay if you just gave them like a vague overview of your dating
I'll do
past?
it. I'll do it.
No.
Go
How
on,
about
no.
you do shitty little sidelines?
All right, great.
Okay.
Go on, Andrew, tell us about your sad life.
I mean, that's very much the premise of this podcast, is it not?
Hey, fuck you, man.
Andrew's a fucking loser and we're thriving. Let's fucking talk about it. No, that's so cool.
No, it's not
we
nice.
mustn't.
It's
Go
crazy.
on.
It's been a year though. Anyway, so starting this podcast, I was going through lots of ghosting situations.
You're basically a medium, Andrew.
Yeah.
Truly.
I've been ghosted more times than Ebenezer Scrooge. It's awful. It really is.
And he only had 4.
It's true. It was bleak.
Yeah.
But now you have a boyfriend and you celebrated your 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, one
and
whole
you did
year.
the gayest thing to celebrate. What you do?
We watched Julie Andrews sing her favourite song.
I'm just so
YouTube.
obsessed with that as a choice.
It's great. It's so, I don't know if go and, I mean, watch this episode first, but afterwards go find Julie Andrews sings her
you
favourite song.
must.
Her opening outfit is wonderful. It's gorgeous.
They're all looks you would wear, Andrew.
Yeah,
let's be
exactly.
honest.
It's
Fabulous.
that
that.
wonderful side of musical theatre YouTube where it's just them singing songs just because they fucking fancy it.
Yeah.
Like if you ever watch the
Yeah.
Cher show, she's
Yeah.
like, oh, and here's me and Liza just doing a number for no good
so
reason.
good,
I
so
swear
good.
there's a duet between Julie Andrews and fucking hell, help me here,
Carol
Judy.
Burnett?
No.
Oh, no.
What's her name? Over the Rainbow.
Oh,
Judy Garland.
Yeah. I swear there's a duet between the two of them at some point as well.
That would be
Wow.
cool.
It's incredible.
Wow.
It's incredible.
Check it out.
So, and then did you like tug each other off whilst watching Julie, or like how does it work?
No, we
Helen.
thought it was gay enough already. We didn't want to.
It really is.
Didn't want to
Could you
Helen!
imagine giving a rim job to Julie Andrews singing?
Do you know what a rim job is? Because you did a hand job
that's-
action while you said
sorry,
rim job.
Rim job is mouth to anus, but you
Correct.
can do both.
But you went like this, rim job. Very
No, but you could be doing the ass with your mouth, army reachy roundy, and
Army
then
reachy
wanking
round.
off. Because you know what? People have two
Can
things
you
at
not
once.
do baby voice while you describe?
I don't know why I did that.
Army meaty roundy tuggy wuggy. Oh my god, gross.
I'm so sorry.
Helen, can I tell you please now about my gig last night?
Only if you fucking died on your hole.
Well, I thought I was going to. That's not really the point of the story.
Okay.
The point of the story is I go to a gig last night.
You shit yourself.
No, can you just
Yeah,
God,
no, I know.
the stakes are so insane when you set them. Like I'm obviously never going to meet that bar. No, I'm like an adult woman who doesn't have some sort of bowel illness. We're good. Can you just relax?
Okay.
Good God.
I'm sorry.
So I go to this gig last night, and when I get there, it is the worst of all things. It's in a tent. It's in a marquee on a field. Fabulous. It's in
You
a
know what?
village.
I'd rather the tent than no tent. I've had fields before.
That's true, but it's a marquee. It's very bright because obviously it's the summer. It's summer solstice, and look, it was a village of 10,000 people. 500 of them were there, which makes
a
it like
village of 10,000.
yeah. So 500 of them were there, and it sold out in seconds. It was like the event of an hour. I arrived an hour early. They were all sat in their seats facing the stage. I was like, oh my god, this is an attentive, excited crowd. It's very sweet.
No, it's a room full of Catherine.
But it does feel like a lot of energy, right? So I was like, okay, so I go into the backstage, and when I get in there, I realize the man who taught me to do stand-up, I did Logan Murray's stand-up course, is emceeing, and I haven't seen him since then, and it was so gorgeous. I was like, Andy Parsons was headlining, and I like used to
Lovely.
watch him on telly when I was a
Yeah,
kid.
yeah.
Logan was hosting, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Sally Ann Hayward was on, and she's, can I say, an unbelievable stand-up. I've never seen her before.
Sally
she was so
Ann
good.
is amazing. I literally just did a comedy store weekend with her, and we were talking about doing
She was
clips
so
online,
good.
and we've both been doing them since then. She's
was
a
so
legend.
good.
Go
Okay.
follow her on Instagram.
Yeah, strong agree. And also, like, I was like, it was so nice to follow a woman who's so filthy because I almost like, I was like, oh no, I'm too, like, what if they're too prudish for me? And then she was like, every disgusting thing you could think she'd covered. I was like, grand. I basically seem tame. She's so
Shout out
funny.
to Sally Ann
yeah,
Hayward,
she's
everyone.
so gross and funny. But anywho, I go into this backstage and I see this man who taught me to do stand-up, and it's so gorgeous. And I'm like, wow, I've really come a long way. And he's like, wow, you've really come a long way. And it felt really full circle. And I was in this beautiful moment of like, God, comedy. I'm really growing into it. This is so nice. And the man who's running the gig walks in and he's just like, hiya. And I was like, hi. And he's like, pretty good, isn't it? We try to have the same number of women and men comedians on every bill.
Oh, like he needs a handshake for it.
And I was like, wow, that's so brave. Bear in mind, there were 5 acts. Only
All
2 of them were
white.
women. All white, yes. And only 2 of them were women. And I was like, you
Fucking
failed,
hell.
man. And A, you don't get a medal for that. And B, you failed at your like big claim. I was like, what do you want from me? Some fucking bravery. Like,
Yeah, no,
wow,
they want
so-
a medal. They 100%
They really
want, like,
do.
it's like there are some guys out there who just never quite left Scouts and they're still trying to complete their sash. I'm telling, but there's also, I'm not like, it's not binary. There's also other people like theys, thems who are still collecting their guides one as well. Like, it's a fucking nightmare
I
out
was
there.
like,
This
you-
is why I carry around stickers with me,
But I
just to
was-
pop them on people.
I was really in that moment of like, yeah, I've come such a long way. Like, it's been like 7 years since I started comedy. How amazing. 8 years almost. And then it was like, And it hasn't changed that much. Wah, wah,
We should start
wah.
making badges to carry around with all three of us. Like, you haven't groped a woman in a year, badgie. Like,
it has been 365 days since an incident occurred.
it's been 2 years since you said you can't say anything anymore. Like,
Big brave boy badges is what we need.
big brave boy
Big
badges.
brave boy
no, but how do
badges.
they earn a big brave boy badge? Like the ultimate
They
one.
think it's just by like acknowledging
Existing.
you're a woman, like, and that they allowed you in this space.
You looked in my eyes for over 2 minutes, badgie.
But he literally walked in and went, "I let you do this," and you're like, "Okay, cool, bro. Like, all right, sweet man." It was so mad. It was so funny. But anyway, it really was. It was everything comedy can be, and I was like, "This is lol." But
I
yeah.
just think marquees and tents in general is bad vibes, but every now and again they're so good.
Oh, but then the gig was gorgeous.
That's the thing.
The
You
gig
just
was
can't tell.
Gorgeous because those Catherines wanted to have a nice time because they'd penciled it in their diaries. They were ready for a good time. There was an Andrew and an Adrian who were sat at the front row. They were like
Andrew and Adrian.
They were the only gays in the village. They weren't couple. They weren't married because that was Tory. They were civil partnered, which was cool and
Okay,
hip.
I love it for them.
I was like, what a wild thing to say, but they were so fun. I loved them. So yeah, I did have a good time. Now listen, I'm listening to a podcast.
That was such a journey.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay, do you want to tell me about the podcast? No, wait, but I have so much to say as well.
Okay,
so
but
tell
don't
me about
you think
your
that you
podcast.
often do say loads?
No.
Okay, so I just thought I'd
No
take
memory.
Honestly, what happened here is that you started the
No
show by
memory.
drinking your coffee, so I had a moment and now I'm on one. I'm like, and don't tell anything about me. I'm like that 8-year-old who got asked how her day was. I'm like,
Wait, what 8-year-old?
Any 8-year-old, you know, when you're
Oh,
like,
okay,
how's your
yeah.
day? And they're like, da 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 da. And I don't know.
Like me when I come
I don't
home.
know that many children.
Okay, you know what? You can talk because my brain is just so full at the moment that I can't even comprehend
I
talking.
can only imagine you have a lot going on. But the
Yeah.
only reason I bring up the podcast is, and by the way, I'd love to do a recommendations list of podcasts because as you know, I'm terrible with silence and I'm listening to a lot of them at the minute. So maybe in the extras, I'll list all the podcasts
I think
I'm
in the
listening
extras
to.
we should do it because I've got a couple at the moment. I'm sure Andrew does as well. And people do ask for more recommendations.
I've got about 20, but I do recommend ours first.
I'll make a little graphic of TrustyHogs recommends.
Oh my god, please! That'd be so cute.
Slime country.
We're not doing it now. We're doing maintenance phase. We're not doing it now. We're not doing it now. Yeah, so I listened to the podcast called Vishal, and it's about a boy. Have you listened to it? Went missing.
I'm not joking.
Went missing.
Did I not talk about this on the podcast like a year and a half ago?
What? He went missing on the day of Diana's wedding.
I know. I'm not right. If Catherine's going to tell it. If anyone remembers me talking about this, please message
sorry.
me. No, go for it. Because whatever you're going to say, I can trumpet, and I feel so excited right now.
All I want to say is that it's no spoilers because I'm only on episode 3.
I've got no spoilers. I've got how the podcast got made.
Well, what's fascinating is that it's made by his stepbrother. But please,
That's what you think.
What?
Go on, you explain what it is.
Basically, I just started listening to this podcast, which apparently Helen had put in my subconscious, and it's about a boy who went missing in 1981 on the day of Princess Diana and your man's wedding.
Charles.
And no, I don't acknowledge his existence. And
You must, because without him we wouldn't have had Diana, and that's something we have to remember.
that's not true. She was all and everything all by herself. She would have been everything. She would have been a moment regardless. Fuck you. Anyway, she got married that day, and then this very unfortunately this young boy went missing, and a young Asian boy. So like whether or not the coverage of it was like useful, good, whether or not the police did the work they should have, whether or not I agreed. So, but I'm only just starting, and it's very interesting, and it's made by his stepbrother, as in his half brother, who was born after he went missing. And how did it get made, Helen?
Okay. I am not joking. So, is it called What Happened to Vishal?
I think so. I think it might just be called Vishal.
Well, the first time they tried to do this podcast, it was called What Happened to Vishal. Okay?
Excuse
and
me?
someone else might remember this event happening. It was like, maybe I spoke about it on my podcast with Rosie Jones. This is how far back this is. So this is like OG, like murder, investigation, missing people podcasts,
All
okay?
lesbians just look the same to you, don't they?
So you're all an absolute, it's just a web of Doc Martens and I just get lost with the laces. So, this is back in the
some
day.
of those are glasses changed.
LBC, the awful radio network, right?
I'm aware of it. I've been in an Uber.
They did the podcast. What Happened to Vishal? They did 5 episodes of it, and they just got into the investigation. They went, "We're going to take a break," and this wasn't a relation. This was journalists on behalf of relations, but they had the blessing of the relations. They met with them. a journalist then was like, there's some documents, but we need to read them, but they're under like the Secret Order Act at Parliament, at MI6. We can't get hold of them. They're like, wait, someone said we might be able to get hold of them. We'll be back next week. And then the next week arrived and they were like, we'll be back next week. Sorry, it's taken a bit longer than we thought.
Right.
And then the podcast stopped coming out and then it got taken down. I am not fucking joking.
Was there a court
What happened
order?
to Vishal? No one knows. It just disappeared.
There's a record of it existing, but I can't find any of the episodes.
So it is there on that. When did it stop playing?
It doesn't say. Go
on.
2015.
2015. How mad is that? 2015. They tried to do this investigation.
but-
They got blocked from doing it
By
because they
who?
couldn't get hold of the documents. The aliens, the government, God knows.
Okay,
God
I hate
knows.
when you go into conspiracy. When
It's
this-
not conspiracy,
No,
Catherine.
because it
I
could
was
have been a
listening
good
to this.
story.
This is like if Vishal just disappeared, like the podcast just disappeared
Right.
again. It was like they were doing an investigation about someone who disappeared, and then
But this
the
second
investigation
podcast
disappeared.
doesn't acknowledge the existence of a previous
This
podcast.
is what I'm saying. Someone's in jail who tried to do this.
In jail?
I don't know. I'm just assuming.
No.
But I used to be. I loved this. The first 5 episodes of it when it came out, I thought it was so good. I thought it was so interesting. They were really looking like something that Americans do when they look into like how awful the police are with investigations of people
Yeah.
of color. They were like finally doing one here. It was on a major radio network. 2015. That is
It
such a trip.
disappeared.
This is
That's
8
so
years later,
interesting.
and it just stopped. But only when they started trying to get these documents.
What happened? We
That's
must
what I'm saying.
And
What
could you please find
happened?
out what happened, please? You know?
To the podcast?
Yeah.
It's very hard to find even a record of it, so I doubt I can find any.
Okay.
And it existed.
Okay,
I'm
because
telling you
this
now,
is
it definitely
interesting because you know that
existed.
there's a podcast that's been court ordered to come down in Australia, The Trial, which is
Why?
really interesting because they're having a like legal debate as to whether or not it is, because they are doing court reporting,
Yeah.
but it's in great detail, and basically the defense have put up a case that it will delegitimize any further application for if somebody comes does a plea. We know when someone does an
A plea
appeal.
deal. Oh, appeal.
Like will affect appeals in the future. It's such an interesting time. Like in many ways, if you think about it, we could be asked to take down our podcast because it's like so insightful for society, and also because it's like discrediting Prince King Charles.
And we will
I
fight
will
for
say
it.
on the royalist front that
Oh.
when we were on BBC Sounds, there was one episode they would not put out. The episode immediately after the Queen died.
Mainly because we were recording through the funeral and you could hear it happening across the river in the bunker we were in.
And also because I don't respect the monarchy and I couldn't
No,
give a
we
fuck.
mustn't, we
Old
mustn't.
people die. Can we stop acting like it's a shocker?
It's not a
I love
shocker.
when people are like, shockingly, 100-year-old woman dies. And you're like, yeah, no, that's going to occur.
But
It's
do you
gonna
feel
occur.
like the system of like juries and judgment is becoming like entertainment because of like I watched did you see the Amber Heard Johnny Depp documentary?
No.
It's on Channel 4.
I couldn't watch it because I honestly feel so frustrated by that entire process. It was so disgracefully
Right?
misogynistic, so
Oh my
utterly
God.
fucked that I'm like, I just cannot engage with the fact that like he is now in films and still on fucking Dior ads. It's
He
like,
is clearly an awful human
monster.
being.
Even if you think that she is too.
Oh, they both definitely have an edge to them. I'll give them that.
But even if you're like the best argument you can
Yeah.
make for her, also you cannot be like, and he's a saint. I actually listen. We're so far behind on this zeitgeist. We're like talking about a podcast that got cancelled in 2015, and now we're talking about the Amber and Johnny. Has anybody?
I didn't realize. So I wasn't on TikTok at the time. I wasn't really following it that intensely. Like I'd see the clips that went like viral that people like shared on like Twitter and Instagram, but like nothing really. But watching this, I was like, holy, the smear campaign
Oh, it's gross.
against
It's
her
actually
and
disgusting.
how we jump on women so quickly. We are so fucking far behind.
Oh yeah, and our capacity to malign women.
He didn't even go to the final judgment.
But I mean, this is sorry to recommend another podcast, but you're wrong about is basically just like has almost an entire category of podcast episodes specifically about maligned women, and you just listen to them over and over again and are like, when will we learn? But we won't.
mustn't.
We
We
mustn't.
mustn't.
We won't.
We can't.
Hey, got anything positive to tell me?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's positive. I'm
Is
just
it
gonna
is
weird
it at
fun.
least hip and current?
Yeah.
Yeah. Something pretty modern.
Yeah. Well, I watched a new film. Well, new to me.
Oh, come on,
Oh,
Helen.
for God's sake, what is it?
You know what I watched? Because I've been spiraling for about 4 days now. I watched The Matrix.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And
We're
I
so
honestly...
on the pulse.
Honestly, have you seen it though?
Welcome to this podcast. The year is 2002.
No. It's 1999, is it? Or 2000 it came out.
I don't know or care.
It was definitely before 9/11 because there's a scene in it when a helicopter like flies into a building and me and Snail were like, oh my God, was it before or after? It's honestly, it's insane.
99, yeah.
99, there you go. Catherine, have you seen it?
I think I saw it as a teen.
Yeah, you think you've seen it. You haven't then.
I think I have.
No. Would you take the red pill or the blue pill?
Reeves. It's the red pill, right?
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Oh my God. So Sunil said he'd watched it before as well. I don't think he had because his mind was being blown.
But hang on, can I just pause? Because some of us have seen films and unlike you don't seem to. You managed to remember like to the letter script details, whereas like a lot of us just like watch films and then forget about them.
Yes.
Whereas you're like, this is true of my life and me. This is part of my journey. This is an indication of how I should behave.
But
this
Matrix has changed
mythology.
how I move through the world
There we
now.
go, see?
So like I move through the world in a different way now because I see things differently. Like we honestly don't know what's real. And like I used to struggle with that when I was younger, being like, oh my God, we're so small and insignificant compared to the universe. Because you'd lie in bed.
And what compared to the universe?
The insignificant. What did I say? Insignificant compared to the universe.
Insignificant.
And then basically nothing really exists around you. It's just we're just guessing at it, right? So like right there, I see a pig in a top hat.
I'm tired.
And you say you see a pig in a top hat, but we might be perceiving it totally differently.
Can I say the pig in the top hat is so anomalous in real life that I think we are both seeing and that it probably is real.
Yeah.
Look, I can touch it and feel it.
Also, I think I would take the pill, but I'd regret it immediately. But because I'm so curious, I'd want to see what the reality is.
Yeah.
And then I got confused because I started thinking that I had seen it before, but I was thinking of the one with Elliot Page. What's it called?
What's the one with Elliot
When
Page?
the World Bends Around You, with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio and Elliot Page are in a film together?
Yes.
Inception. I did know that. I was like, how are those the two people you remember that film from? Marion Cotillard is the star there.
Oh, good for her.
Oh my God, you're really straight, aren't you? You're really that actually did.
Leonardo DiCaprio's in it.
Leonardo DiCaprio is your memory of Inception.
Okay, am I a 40-year-old woman? I am so out of date right now.
I know he's in it, but like, wow, that was that's the defining. That's for me. That's drawing the line between straight and queer here.
But you're talking
I'm
right
like,
now. But are
sweet
you
Marion,
talking?
Sweet Marion.
Does Marion Cotillard actually exist? Like, do you
in
know what
my
I mean? Or is
dreams
she
she
just
does.
a projection for you?
Of all
This
good
is
things
the
of
thing.
women?
The Matrix. It's honestly, I'm gonna get myself one of those coats.
You're exhausting.
I'm gonna get a big.
You
trench
would be
coat and
so
sweep
warm.
around.
You run so hot.
Oh, it's gonna be. I'm gonna grow so much in that coat.
Imagine how loud it would be squeaking away while you.
Me like shuffling into a space on the tube, like. Are they warm in winter then, or are they just one of those things that's just impractical
I
the
just
whole
assume
time?
you sweat the whole time, all the time.
Yes,
That like it's wet inside.
I always have at least like 5 pores open because I'm an open soul.
Okay.
I have an open heart, open mind. But that's what's happening with me in the modern day.
Wow, a lot going on for you. A lot going on.
I feel like I need to step up my life, but I genuinely think. But I just watch films and not work on my show. That's my whole thing at the moment.
Yeah, you're definitely in.
I'm panicking.
Shall we say procrastination mode?
I'm panicking.
I get it. I really
Yeah.
do get it. I'm there too.
I watched a film about Richard III.
No.
I've lost my mind.
It's so hard though, isn't it? Right?
The
Because
Lost King.
Can I say? I think that you are in a situation where
He was in a car park in Leicester.
we're all
Sorry.
in. It was, yeah.
Yeah,
gosh.
he was. Don't say it.
Oh,
He
that
was.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
they won the City of Culture or something.
Oh, good for them.
Yeah, gosh, a lot going on for Leicester.
Yeah.
Hey, but here's in like 7 years ago. We're so late to
No,
every trend.
2012.
I was going to say that you just fluctuated from like 40-year-old woman to 50-year-old man, but now that I know it's that Richard III film, you're still in the 40-year-old woman territory.
Oh, yeah, the
That's-
one with
yeah.
Sally Hawkins and Steve Coogan.
Yeah,
Where
that's
Sally
right.
Hawkins has Emmy and she sees Richard III.
Whoa.
It's brilliant.
I'm sure.
It's brilliant.
Can I say
She has a
No,
hunch as to where he is, and she gets it right.
that doesn't sound like it's for me.
She's like, it's in trench 1,
That's-
and it is.
That's not for me. British people are obsessed with Sally Hawkins.
Who isn't?
anyone else, I think.
Did you ever see Happy Go Lucky though?
Yeah, listen, she's
So
great.
good.
She's Sally Hawkins in all things, right?
Well, in my Glee films, you have to be yourself.
Okay, that's true. I guess that's true.
It's a fact.
I don't think I'm smart enough for my Glee films. I said it. I just don't think I am. We had to watch loads of them in drama school, and I was a bit like, when is something going to happen? And everyone was like, you're dumb.
Hey now. Oh, you're so smart. You watch so much.
I watched so much
more trash than I do.
I love that trash. It's delicious. I just finished all of Glow Up because I heard about it, and then I watched all 5 series.
The makeup competition show?
Loved it. Really loved it, actually. Very for me.
It's good stuff.
Yeah,
I've watched a couple of episodes.
Big time enjoyed. Hey, I was going to say something to you, which is, I think that, to circle back to the point of you procrastinating for your Edinburgh show.
Oh no, I thought we'd procrastinated our way out of that conversation.
Hear me out. I think that you are doing what I was doing about my radio show until about 5 minutes ago, which is like, we both have such high standards for ourselves that we want it to be perfect. But the nature of creativity, unfortunately, is that nothing can be perfect.
But everything I've made so far has been perfect.
And so, but when that's the bar, you freeze, right? Because you're like, I'll never get it totally right. And then every moment you don't work on it is another moment you've wasted. Yeah. But you are a brilliant comic.
No, you know what it is? It's a puzzle that I can't solve because every time I put a piece in, it feels like it fits, but it doesn't actually. So like,
but that's Rose's job. Your director, she'll help you so much.
I know. I need to book another session with Rose. Rose Johnson, a friend of the podcast, also
friend
director of mine.
Also wrangling Helen's ideas, which makes her a genuine trooper. Here's my question. Speaking of sweaty coats and indeed summer procrastination, it's unbearably hot. Does anyone have any summer hacks? Because I am dying. My flat is unbearable.
You have a flat with no outside space.
No outside space and big windows, which is so nice. But oh my God, in the summer, I'm dying. Here are my tips. I made a sandwich bag of ice. I keep putting ice in my diffuser.
What do you mean you've made a sandwich bag of ice?
I mean, like...
You put water in a sandwich
bag.
bag.
Made is a strong word.
I made from scratch.
Okay, I'm not really able to hold complex thought and be in the summertime, so that's what... I'm basically shielding from the sun at this moment in time. I fill sandwich bags with ice so that I can keep using my trays. Oh, and nice. I am putting those in the diffuser. You know, like my little... what's that Muji diffuser?
Yeah, so you're diffusing ice.
Yeah, and it makes the air that comes out cold, and that's nice. I keep the windows closed during the day and the curtains closed during the day, and then I open them at night for cold air. Andrew, I'm trying to hack summer. Can you not drop things, please? Thank you so much. I wear SPF all the time. Do you have any? I put flannels in the freezer to take them out and put them between my legs when I'm too warm.
Maybe change your genetic makeup. No, that's an option. It's the only option I can think of.
Anybody else? Oh, and I have
no, Catherine. The things they're doing in science at the moment.
I got a 4-tog duvet,
hard.
so it's so light, but you still have the feeling of a duvet.
Okay. Well, maybe you just need to have a cold shower before you go to bed.
I'm doing that. Getting into bed wet is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have it. You're so clammy.
Do you have a... Yeah, because it's bloody hot in here, okay?
What? That was wet.
Well, it's been...
We splashed when we high-fived. Grim. Don't rub your eyes like that.
I'm sorry. I don't know what to do. I like having a cold mouth.
What?
I find that quite useful. Like having ice lolly or sucking on ice, like a cold mouth can sort of cool down my head, I found.
Okay, yeah, all right. It's a weird way to describe that. Most people would
cold
say,
mouth.
I love an ice lolly. She's like, I like a cold mouth, please.
So anything that makes my mouth cold, I'm happier when mouth coldy.
Yeah, okay. Something to think about.
But is it cold? God knows, you know? You just don't know. You just don't. What perception? It's all bloody mad.
Oh, we're not Matrix. You cannot put the Matrix onto a lollipop.
I can put the Matrix.
Is your ice lolly cold, or are you just taking the blue pill?
Have you though?
Honestly.
You know the amount of tablets you take, and you just don't look mad.
What?
No, you do look. I said that, and then immediately thought you must think I'm absolutely mad. But you know when you're like, is that one, or is that one? Like.
You've been to my house. You know I put all of my fortnightly tablets into a pill box and take them every single day.
I know, and I know I said I was going to do that, but who's got time?
Hang on, I just realised
I've got to watch The Matrix.
I have a pill box and a glasses chain. Maybe I am an old lady.
You're 204, baby.
Oh, I look good for it.
You look
Thank you,
so
Dr.
good
Ewan.
for 204. Should we bring on a guest before we all get panicked that we were all very old.
Yeah.
We're actually very young and thriving.
Oh my God, I went to get
I'm
bloods.
4.
I went to get bloods taken the other day, and the
Oh, Catherine, you
Can
are
you-
getting on. I went for the optician's bloods.
Listen to me. I went to get my bloods taken.
How are your
and
bones?
Will you
Calcified?
listen to me? And then, oh my God, I'm such an old woman. Listen to Mummy. Mummy never gets to talk. So I get my bloods taken, and then I say something like, "Oh, I infer that I'm old," and the two women are like, "No, you're not." Obviously, like they're slightly older than me. They're like, "No, you're not. No, you're not."
Yeah.
And then they both do this thing where they go, "Guess how old we are," and I was like, "Oh God, this is the most stressful game in the world. And also you're sticking a needle in my arm, so what I don't want to do right now is piss you off." And then it was a nurse phlebotomist, so she was training.
What?
The phlebotomist was training.
What's a phlebotomist?
Bloods.
Right.
So phlebotomy, veins.
Never
bloods.
even heard of that before in my life.
Yeah. So the nurse, it says to the trainee phlebotomist, she says to me, "Hi, this is blah. She's training. Is it okay if she takes your bloods?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm not scared of needles. I give blood, so I'm like pretty used to it." I was like, "Yeah, that's grand. Go for it. You have to learn somehow." And she cannot get her gloves on. Her hands are sweating so much. She's shaking. Her hands are sweating. She's shaking.
Bless her.
And I was watching her try to get these gloves on, and I was a bit like, I mean, I'm not scared of needles, but Jesus, goodness.
Yeah.
And so the nurse is like, "Are you ready?" And she's like, "No." And then she's like, "Guess what age we are?" And I was like, this is the most stressful game. I'm watching this woman try to ram her hand into these gloves. I'm trying to guess what age they are without offending them. I'm like, 21. They're like, we're 68 or whatever. Yeah. And eventually she's going like to trying to do the bloods with her finger half in this, like bent over by this glove. And eventually the nurse just like, they'd be like so friendly and cheery. And then the nurse just goes, "You need to get a grip. You can't do this, patient. Look at your hands. Look at your hands.
Oh, no.
Go over there and pull yourself together."
Oh, that's not going to help.
It was awful. And then she just had to go to the corner of the room and face the corner basically and like try to get the gloves off. She was like sent to the corner to like get herself together, and she just kept saying, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." And the nurse was like, "I'll do it." And then I was honestly like, this is the most stressful environment.
I mean, your blood will be pumping on the plus side.
Oh my God, my veins were alive and well. And they took my bloods, and I was like, I gotta get out here. And I found myself leaving being like, "You'll get them next time," to this trainee nurse who was like wiping her evidently like soaked hands on her trousers. I was like, this is hell. Anyway, the NHS needs our support.
Yeah, it does. Wow. Wow.
You know when you start a story, you don't know where it's going, but you really keep going.
That was so intense. But the bloods are all good. You're going to live forever?
Don't know yet. Waiting to hear.
Oh, no.
Waiting to hear.
Oh, I'll miss you so much.
Stop.
Let's talk to a guest, I guess. Before we
I'm
both
not going to die.
die.
Well, I mean, we'll die, but we don't know when.
I'll miss you so much.
Let's bring on our guest. It's the wonderful Jodie Mitchell. Hi, it's me, Catherine Boharsh, and I have a bunch of work in progress shows to tell you about for two different things. The first is for my work in progress show at Edinburgh, my new like wannabe tour show. I'm going to be doing that at ArgFest on the 1st of July in Shoreditch. I'm going to be doing it at Aces and Eights in Kentish Town on the 4th of July. I'm going to be doing it on the 20th of July in Hackney. On the 2nd of August, there all the way to the 9th in Edinburgh. So you can find dates for that on my website, catherinebohart.com. Otherwise, I'm also doing work in progress for my radio show, that's right, I'm doing a double on the 4th of July. I'm doing it at Angel on the 4th of July, and I'm also doing it online, Throwback to Gigless on Zoom on the 15th. Andrew's going to tech it for me very sweetly, and that will be recording on the 9th of August in Edinburgh, so keep 4 to 7 p.m. on that day free if you're around, and I'll tell you when the link's up on the BBC website. Yeah, I'm trying to work up a new show. I'll also be taking it to Soho Theatre at the end of August, 22nd and 23rd. I'm really trying to build a new, exciting show. I'm really nervous about my new ideas, so I'd love to have some hogs in. And I'll be honest, I'm really nervous about the radio show, so I would adore to have some young, interested, exciting people who think I'm funny in the room. Please, come along.
What's up, Hogs? It's Helen Bauer here. Just to let you know, I am going on tour this year. It's starting in Edinburgh. I'll be there from the 14th to the 27th, and then I'm hitting up Europe. I'm hitting up Paris, Harlem, Copenhagen, the places you've been begging for me to go. And then all around the UK, apart from Wales. For some reason, I don't have a Welsh date yet. So please, if you're in Wales and you have a venue, just let me know and I'll just come there. We'll have a bit of fun. All the tickets are available on my website and I'd love to see you there. And please bring Helen gifties. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Jodie Mitchell! That was really good. That was really good.
That was me going, Jodie, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I went for a cabaret vibe. No?
I liked it.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
I feel loved.
I was like, what's happening? Hello, welcome. Hi. You just caught a glimpse of all of our merch merch things that people have sent us, gifts behind.
Yeah.
More Diana than you expected?
It is more Diana than I expected.
Yeah.
But maybe not even the right amount. I think there could be more.
Thank you.
Okay, no, I'm not doing this with you.
There's a Diana mug behind the crochet pigs.
Oh yeah, the pigs have to lie against the lovely
We're
Diana
getting a lot
mug.
of crochet pigs at the minute.
I love them.
I don't think we could possibly get any more, but we sort of reached max crochet pig.
There's never enough crocheted pigs in Diana. In an ideal world,
don't
we'd
know.
receive a crochet pig that is based off Diana.
No.
Like, could you imagine with the engagement ring with the sapphire in it?
Yeah.
And then a speech bubble that's also crocheted saying, "Are you in love then?" And then Charles, just the pig Charles next to her, going like, well, "Whatever love is."
I think set it up at the Edinburgh Fringe. You know how they have the like woolen shops that
Yes.
sell all the Diana merchandise?
Yes.
I think have a little like stool outside and sell your crochet Diana.
Can I
pigs,
say
no?
I
Oh
just
my
love a nice
God.
scented candle? I just like a nice scented candle. Is that too much to I think we're covered for pigs. We're covered all for pigs.
No. We've only got a couple of pig things as far as I'm concerned.
Sweet Jesus. Hello, how are you, Jodie Mitchell?
I'm good.
Yeah?
How
What
are
you up
Catherine
to?
Behart?
Thank you for asking, because Helen certainly doesn't.
How are you, Catherine?
I'm good.
Oh.
I'm good. Oh my God, she's such sarcasm. What have you been up to?
It's Pride season now.
Oh my gosh, of course, so you're busy.
Happy Pride.
I'm busy getting my reparations for being gay.
Nice.
From the corporate
Congrats.
community.
Nice. Are you doing
Yeah.
a lot of Pride gigs?
Oh my God, so many.
Yeah.
And a lot
Yeah.
of like drag Pride gigs, which you've got to get on it, Helen.
Oh, no, Catherine,
great.
I'm not allowed to do them, but I am allowed to go and support.
Yes.
But it's not my stage.
There you go.
Good.
As an
That's good
ally,
training.
I know, right?
Well
I
done.
can stand there. I can roll cigarettes for the lesbians.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm allowed to like wave a flag, but not necessarily wear it. But I can wear it if it's supportive.
Helen really wants to come to BDE, and I'm like, you can only come to it if you stay outside and light cigarettes. Max.
Yeah. Or maybe
Max.
like cigars, kind of like the lesbians have all given birth to like one big baby.
Oh, that's
And
and
you
it's
could be the cigar
Helen.
guy. Yeah, do you
Oh
wanna be
my
the big
God.
baby?
But I think because I've got such wonderful breasts, the plan is that I just go to Pride events and just sort of like have my tits out and just let them all have a play on it.
I mean, that is
It's
amazing
not
allyship.
generous.
It is good allyship, isn't it? Anyway, happy
I don't
Pride.
not like that.
Explain to me reparations. Do you guys get sandwiches free or
No,
something?
you just get paid to
Yeah,
do Pride
yeah.
gigs.
Oh, right,
That's
okay.
the point, yeah.
Oh, like
Yeah.
International Women's Day sort of vibe.
Yeah, but
Yes.
like
Okay.
in the same way where like half the gig offers you actually get are like, would you like to do this for free for a corporation? You're like, what? No, absolutely not. Obviously I wouldn't. That's a terrible idea.
Understood.
But Jodie, wait. So some of them you're doing stand-up at, and some of them you're doing drag at, or I know you
Yes.
do both together.
Yeah.
But you, so you know that Jodie's a drag king.
John Travolta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. Can I tell you that you? Did I ever tell you that you sort of were the first drag king? Look, there's no. Listen, I don't want to be like, I don't usually like
honoured.
female comedians, but I'm about to do.
Oh my God.
It's just that you
Yeah.
have to understand that, like, a lot of the time I'd seen drag kings before, they were bad, and you're great.
Right.
And the thing is, I don't know why I'm more forgiving of a messy drag queen. It's probably internalized misogyny.
Yeah.
But like, there's something about like a messy drag queen who's like acted all over the shop where I'm like, she's trying. But
see.
when I would see bad drag kings, I'd be like, harsh, maybe. I think I just was harsh. And also, then I saw you and you were just so amazing. And then I went to see Pecs and it was so amazing.
I never thought I'd get to be like a pick me boy.
Yeah!
It's happened. It's literally.
Not like the other kings.
Also,
think
I
you're
assume
not
that
coming
from
to
the
right
first
now. I'm
time.
going to take you
But
to
now
some
I've
drag
seen
king
loads of
nights.
great, but because of
Yeah.
your show, I've seen loads of great drag kings, and
Good.
I feel like a dick. Frankly.
It's a new shame for you.
Yeah,
Just
it is.
add it to the shame
Yeah,
pile.
listen, and the pile's high.
We're trying to get rid of Catherine's shame at the moment. It's actually getting worrying how much shame you can stack
Jodie's
up.
not going to help with that because we got another Catholic in the house.
No! Wait, 2 in 1. No,
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Sassy bless was amazing.
I'm
Gotta
sorry
bless
for
us
what
up
your
every
priest
day.
did.
Thank you.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
thank you.
Listen, more ex-Catholic queers for the podcast. I say.
yeah.
Also, a great
Welcome.
advertisement for people who are like, I'll send my kids to Catholic school because then they won't be queer. Like, okay,
Oh, yeah,
good
makes
job
you
there.
hella gay.
It doesn't work. It doesn't
Yeah.
work. It doesn't work.
Putting you in a school with like all other girls, it just somehow it just doesn't.
I don't know what it is that makes us gay about that. Gosh, what is
Yeah.
it?
What
What
is that?
is it?
Because you finger each other in the bathroom.
I wish. I wish that's what was happening.
I'd love to see you like write some really unsubtle lesbian porn. Yeah, because a lot of it is very like, and then they rubbed up against each other tenderly.
Yes, yeah.
I would love to see some like really, really brutal.
Helen's
unsubtle
like, they
stuff
paused
from
from
you.
hockey to finger blast each other in front of everyone.
No, but it's a lot of like, I've watched lesbian porn.
I see.
It's
I
a
see.
lot of
Helen's
gals
much
like.
more than I have.
Yeah,
Wow.
it gets me off because they're so kind with each other, right?
Yes,
and so
yes.
gentle.
Right.
And I feel like sometimes with guys, it's like, for some reason in porn, it's still like the bigger the better, but it's like, ouchie, 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 ouchie. And it's like, you don't want to think ouch when you're like pleasuring yourself,
I hate
right?
all of this.
So it's like, they're
So
just
far,
they're
so
way
hating
more
it.
there for each other. And I genuinely appreciate that. But I reckon I could write some good lesbian porn.
Yeah, do it. Or get on the
Yeah.
gay male porn. That's my favourite because that has backstory every time.
Is that
And I
Julie
like that.
Andrews? Because Andrew watches that.
Yeah, they sing their favorite song. But on the backstory thing, there's we genuinely accidentally stumbled across this thing on Amazon called Helix Studios Presents. Now, Helix Studios is a famous gay porn studio.
Oh, good for them.
With like specialize in twinks and stuff.
Ooh,
And what
hey.
they've done is they've taken the in between and the build up to all of their porn scenes and stitched it into a narrative in quotation marks. So you can just watch the narrative of these gay boys, and then as soon as they start making out to fuck, it cuts to after the fucking. And it's they're trying to like sell it as a drama series.
Is it working?
It's terrible. No, it's awful.
Okay, that's
But
a
very
shame. That's a
entertaining.
shame.
I'd watch it.
No one ever believes me when I say I don't watch porn, but I don't. And
That's
I
enough,
didn't
Catherine,
at
you
first,
do you.
but I believe you now.
yeah,
I
it's
believe
just,
you now.
It just never has ever done anything for me, and I just get so concerned. And I know that's so boring, but I just have never been like, yeah, I feel like everybody's here of their own free will, and that there are no countervailing narratives that make this
I
problematic.
never allow that to come into my brain.
And it's so I almost respect people's ability to do something. And also I just don't find it sexy. I don't know why. Whereas like if you give me a book with some sexual insinuation, sweet Jesus.
Oh wow! So you can more easily project onto like Mills and Boone.
100%.
It doesn't even have to be Mills and Boone.
No, like
1984,
like literally
Animal
like
Farm.
any sort of freak, like yeah, a little bit
I
like
can float up off the floor.
a
if I
little
want
bit of
to.
sexual tension in a book, and I'm like, holy shit balls. Yeah, like Miranda
Wow.
July, hello. Yeah, just like yeah, real sexy.
I love that. I wish I could do that. I wish I could be like, I love Big Brother. I love Big Brother. Like, that would be amazing if I could get off on a really well written book.
Yeah.
Congrats, Catherine.
No, it's not. Helen's misrepresenting me. I does have to have some sexual undertones.
No,
or,
no,
like,
no. I saw her fronting herself stupid to Two
you
Legs
didn't.
Good, Four
No,
Legs
you
Bad.
didn't. Although
Like
now that you
your
say
film.
it,
Choking herself whilst reading it. The pigs are in charge. You have such choke me girl energy. It's mad.
that's so funny because I think I have
heard
much
of it
more
before.
like I will choke you energy.
No. You definitely want to lie down and be choked.
No, you're wrong.
No!
Yeah, you're wrong.
I feel like I know you and then I just absolutely fuck it up every single time.
it's weird that you wouldn't assume I'm a top. I think I have strong top energy. Top
I've
energy.
always read Catherine as a femme top.
Thank
I'm not
you.
gonna lie. I'm
Thank
not gonna
you.
lie.
But you've got to remember that I'm new to this world in many ways. So
Okay.
I'm still
Yeah,
learning.
Little baby Helen has so much to learn.
me
Oh my
too,
gosh, of
Helen,
course,
so
yeah.
little.
No, I'm very much a femme top. I would.
Do you want to hear about the
thought
book
that was
that turned
clear.
me on?
Yes, I'd love to. Was it?
Bird Song by Sebastian Faulks. Catherine already knows this.
So
We read it
problematic.
in year 9, and it did
Did
have
you?
sex scenes in
Oh
it.
my-
Yeah, everyone got
so
really
much
obsessed.
sex scenes in it.
Yeah.
So many, and it is hot. Do you guys ever like wank to straight porn? I mean, you don't.
Again, I
full
don't
stop,
watch-
but like, do you ever watch it for lols?
I trained myself to only watch straight porn for years. My shame.
Why?
Wait, why would you train yourself?
I just
why?
I think just for the longest time I was like, this has to be good. The people have put so much effort into it, and I really tried. This is how I
Like,
know
I
that
tried
I'm
to watch
so
British
gay.
soaps. I was like, come on, enough people watch EastEnders. There's got to be something to it.
Get on board.
so good, isn't it?
Phil Mitchell is a
I
well-rounded
did
character.
love it. I did
No,
love it. Wait,
no.
so wow, that's so funny, and it didn't do anything for you in the end.
No, and I tried so hard.
That's so nice to commit yourself to the
I'm
cause.
going to send you a couple of links.
Thanks, Daddy.
But I'll put it on our Patreon. I'll recommend everyone to wank
Right,
along
right.
with me. For charity, for Pride. We're going to do a straight wank along for Pride. Is that allyship? I must say.
We can tell. We can really tell.
And I can't believe you read Birdsong in year 9. Was it one of those
Yeah.
things where, like, did your teachers used to do this when it's like everyone needs to read it, and then for 3 lessons they realise that no one's reading it, so you have to read it out loud all together?
no, we just did our
No.
homework.
Oh, right. Oh, fuck you guys.
This is the thing. I mean, did you go to an all-girls school?
Yeah, of course I did.
Okay. I don't want to just like
Me
project
too.
A
onto you.
Catholic
No.
convent all-girls school. Of course I did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think there's just something about the environment that just means that everyone's like, and of course we'll do our homework like good little girls.
Yeah,
so we
and
just did it.
I'd say my school was even
Shut
another
up.
notch ahead of that, where like yours didn't do it. Yours are like, we're good girls. Ours were like, I read it first. I finished first.
Academic hothouse vibes.
Yeah, really
yeah.
competitive. So not even like, it wasn't like you wouldn't read the book. It's like, oh, you haven't finished? Oh, you just read the chapters we were assigned. Oh, no, listen, that's something.
I would have
Yeah.
cried
Something?
every day at that school.
Yeah, it's not for everyone.
No,
it
and
was
it
very
wasn't-
uncool not to do homework.
Yeah, like it wasn't healthy,
Shut
but
up.
yeah.
Also, like I was head girl, so like
You were a head
saying.
girl.
I know. So again, I really tried with the like gender identity as well.
Wow,
you know.
look at you.
I know.
Best girl.
You
head
and Chloe
girl.
Petts are the only 2 head girls I know.
I
That's
know.
mental.
Isn't
We
that
really represent. Now we're like, Daddy's home. Want to have a joke about the
2 head
binary?
girls walking around with their chains and their fucking car
And now
beanies.
non-binary
Beep,
realness.
beep.
Yes.
I think I had a bright red mullet when I was head girl. Like I was very.
Shut
I wasn't
the
like
fuck up.
Like ginger
Yeah.
or like fake red?
like fake red, like bright, kind of like your nails. That kind of
No,
red.
you would not have been allowed to be head girl in my school.
Well, we got the uniform code disappeared for our final year at the school because we were allowed to start being our own people. And at that point, I was
You were
like,
allowed
surprise!
to de-institutionalize yourself.
Yeah. So I had like really long curly hair like down to my hips, and I was
it.
very femme.
Are you naturally ginge?
No, it was kind of like, I guess, like in the sun, it would go like a little bit reddy.
I can
Strawberry
see it in your
blonde?
eyebrow.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay,
my god,
okay.
I can
That
see
might
it.
be bleach from when I last bleached my hair. But
Oh,
yes,
wow.
little
So you
little
had
dapples.
long curly hair.
And the uniform was like blouses and skirts, very that vibe.
Fabulous.
And then they took away
Amazing.
the uniform, and I was like, I wear dungarees. I have a mullet. And the school was like, no.
This
Oh
is
my
for
gosh,
year
that's so
11 to
funny.
16.
Yeah.
Holy
yeah,
shit.
15 and 16.
And were you exploring gender in a meaningful way by then, or do you think it was university?
I think I just watched Skins at
Oh my
that
gosh,
point.
of course. And that is in its own
Yeah.
way a gender exploration.
In its own way,
Trying to
yeah.
make it a serious conversation about
Yeah.
gender expression. I was just
asking.
watching Skins.
Yeah, I was
just
like,
asking.
wow, the one that Cat plays is hot and has a red mullet.
Wait, is
Yeah,
Cat
it was
one of
that
the
vibe.
twins?
Yeah, one of the twins. One of the twins.
yeah.
I don't. Wait, which one? Emily. Emily was the one that was the lesbian. I think.
Cool.
I say I think. I know.
Yeah, I was like, why are you? I really said
I
cool.
know.
Like, oh, someone's pretending not to know. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Emily and Naomi, obviously. I think that was the first time I saw lesbians on like mainstream TV, so I
Wow.
got very into it.
I was trying to figure out what my queer awakening was,
Mm.
and I think really the earliest memory I have of being obsessed with a woman and her presentation on television was Calamity Jane.
Wow.
Doris
Oh,
Day.
the Deadwood stages are rolling all over the
It's
place.
such a problematic
great
film.
one.
It's so problematic, but Doris
Yeah.
Day
Oh, is it?
It's about Indians
I haven't watched it
and
since I was younger.
cowboys.
Oh, yeah, you're
terrible.
right.
Like it shouldn't be allowed
Like,
to exist.
no, it's awful. The Native American representation is appalling.
Oh,
Like,
no, yeah.
appalling. It's
Oh,
really,
no.
really bad. But
This is
Doris Day and
good.
Cowboy Boots, and I
Shameful.
was like,
Yeah.
oh my. And also, then A Woman's Touch. That is like.
What's that?
Oh, it's the song that she and the showgirl sing when they're doing up the cabin into the like manly cowboy's cabin into like with a woman's touch. So they're
Of course, the only porn Catherine likes is putting finishing touches.
I'm like, truly, they like fem it up and they're like, a woman's touch.
That was like, you still your ethical porn as the home edit, and you're just home going, my boss matches the current.
I thought the two of them were gonna fuck, and I was like, this is so exciting. Oh my god, they're because they felt like they were nesting, like two women were U-hauling, but they were just doing it up for the man. But in that moment, I was like, they're perfect together. They should just love each other. And I was a kid, so yeah.
Was Skins the first lesbians on UK TV then?
No, for me, I mean, Sugar Rush was the big.
Yeah, which
moment.
I had to find on YouTube. I think I missed when it was
you're
airing.
So young.
Yeah,
So young. Oh
so
my god.
I found it, but that was great because that was
was
very
so
like. I feel like a lot of the stuff that I watched when I was younger was very like good on bisexuality and not like shaming.
Yeah, interesting. The girlfriend who had the sex shop, what was her name?
Oh, I don't remember.
Don't look at me. I
Tweet us if you know the name.
I was watching Playdays.
Of course,
16 years old.
Yeah.
Wybird's got so many questions.
What is Playdays? Sorry.
Oh, it's like a kids' TV show where like they go on different outings on a roundabout. Yeah.
It's a different vibe.
Okay.
Fewer sex shops.
So was Skins for you the big awakening?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
yeah. And I actually, weirdly, I watched it with the other person in my. I mean, all of my friends from school have now pretty much come out as queer, because I changed them.
Yes, good, because it's contagious, and we will infiltrate and we will turn.
Do not send your kids to Catholic schools.
Send them. Yeah, they're all hella gay now.
Wow,
But the
that's
first
so
one to
interesting.
come out, we watched Skins together, side by side, not touching or looking at each other.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my god, we love those moments of like, huh.
I've got a straight question.
Yes, Helen.
Okay, so when you're in a group of people and you're all
That's
gay,
why we
but
brought you here, by the way. It's a Q&A for Helen.
Yeah,
I'm just
to
tired
help
and I
you.
needed some
Yeah.
assistance.
And that's fair. We have to take turns.
okay, so you all go through school together, and then one of you comes out as gay, right? Like, do you all then? Is it like me too, or do you like allow that person a week before you jump in and join, or is it like a case of like someone like opens up a conversation, and you go, actually, I wanted to tell you this too, me too, or do people realise at different ages to the point where you're sort of like me too, and they're like, where were you? And you're like, I don't know.
Interesting question.
Thank you.
From our straight friend.
Okay.
I think it varies in different situations.
Yeah, 'cause
Really?
I think we're going to have different answers. Go on.
I had both versions of that.
Yeah.
So I kept it very secret for a long time. Also,
Push it down.
I know it was
Keep it
bad.
safe.
And there was a Catholic girls' school down the road from me, and I was of
Don't know
course
if you were
deeply in love with
pushing it
someone
down
there.
If you're watching
course,
Sugar
yeah.
Rush on
course.
YouTube, I mean,
Yes,
it's
but that was my
not
secret
really
home time.
fighting. Okay,
Yeah,
On
no,
our
right,
home
that-
computer that
yeah.
faced the living room.
My
Yeah,
bad.
you're not doing that in school. Go on.
No, secret. So when I did tell someone, she was like, "Oh my god, kind of me too," and then we made out, and then we were like, "Oh, you're like."
But not for you.
Yeah.
Oh,
We were both like, ew, you suck. And we're like, oh my god, can there not just be like one lesbian that we can harvest for like mutual sexual satisfaction?
Oh
no,
my
we're
gosh.
still like best friends.
Good.
We lived
cute,
together for years.
Cute,
Love
cute,
that.
Yeah, it was
cute,
beautiful.
cute.
Love
So we were both like, oh my god, gay. Oh, you disgust me.
Oh, that's a shame.
yeah,
Gay,
so
but not
sad.
in that way. Want to
Yeah.
be clear.
Who knew? One has tastes.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
I was the only queer person I knew in my school. Apart from this girl used to send me chapters of the novel she was working on in her copybook.
It's
Oh my
gay.
god!
It's
What
gay.
sort of fucking school is this? That outside of school hours, you're working on a
She'd be like,
novel.
"Can you read this?" And it was always like so sexual and so queer.
Of course.
And she had pink hair and lots of piercings, so I assumed she was queer, but she never said that.
Yeah.
And we never talked about it.
Yeah.
So I was the only one as far as I knew. And then I did a guilty feminist debate.
Yeah.
And afterwards, this girl who I'd been debating with in school was like, this is my older sister. She's just come out of a marriage with a woman. And I remember being like, no, I was the only gay in school.
Oh, no.
And in my head, I was like, but that can't be right because I was the only special one. And I was like, oh, it turns out, of course, anybody who was queer in that school at that time was hiding it.
Yeah.
I wasn't alone. It was just terrifying.
Yeah.
And it was an incredibly like homophobic place to be. And there's no way we could have said it. So obviously there were more than me. But I remember having my mind blown as if like, I'd somehow because I felt so alien and so weird, and had to keep it to myself, and I actually couldn't fathom that there'd been another one.
It's so hard to imagine because I found that one, but there was also the thing of making out in front of boys to get boys to pay attention to you. So that happened, but then that had to be just for the boys. It wasn't because you liked it.
You made out with other women in front of boys for their entertainment.
I mean, for me, I just kind of didn't care that they were there because I don't really see men. It's weird.
Andrew, wave.
See, I can see Andrew's shirt moving.
The shirt and the pearl necklace and the rest of it.
It's just floating pearls.
You can see the pearls and the earrings. I can see the lady bits.
Yeah.
So would you make out with a straight girl and she'd be like, "Oh my god, the guys are gonna love this," and you're like, "Yeah, for the guys."
I just care so much about them. I'm glad they're having a good night. Well done me. It's the only way. It's the only way for so long.
Yeah.
And then slowly my friends have come out and we've all had a lot of chats where we're like, if only we talked about it at the time.
Yeah.
But no,
oh my God,
it was not to be.
I think people realise at different ages, people are still realising sexualities so late on in life.
But also the context I would have been coming out in would have been an actively hostile one. Whereas my brother and sister went to a state school a few years later. They had a rainbow club.
Wow.
It's I mean, I'm not saying it was necessarily an easier space to come out or even to acknowledge that at that time, but I mean, at least there was an environment that was that's possible.
I would say I think that is the easier space.
Yeah.
I think it's not obviously everyone's things different, but if your school is actively saying there's a safe space here, we encourage it. You don't feel like you're going to get in trouble or the teacher's going to make you feel alienated, then it is better.
I'm even trying to write about this in a minute, but I don't know how lesbians have children. And that's a mad thing to say as a person who went through a full education system. Most people come out of school and are like, here's how reproduction works. And I'm like, I don't know. In relation to me,
you're
no
reliant
idea.
On friends to tell you, right? Probably the same friends, I would assume.
You have to be like, hey, does anyone know a lesbian who's made
Could you write a chapter in your novel?
Truly, it's huh? It's wild. But okay, any hobbies?
For me?
Yeah.
For the erotica you're going to write?
No, because the reason I ask is because we can't just ask you gay questions.
Oh, I'm allowed.
I see.
No.
And
no, you're doing great, Helen.
No,
don't
you're
worry.
being really, really bad.
More.
Go on, one more. What is it?
Do you think it would be...
She actually has one.
Go on, Ellen.
Do you think it would be helpful to bring in women like me who exclusively are attracted to gay men to all boys' schools to pick them out? So then they know. So I'll go into
like a sniffer dog.
And I'll be fancy him.
You'd be saying this about children, would you?
Yeah.
Children.
The one that's singing Mary Poppins in the corner and the one that's choreographing a dance routine and crying because no one's taking it seriously. And then they all know. So I don't have to go through should I push it down? Would that be a helpful service during Pride Month for me to offer?
Like a straight sniffer dog.
I'll go into Eton and I'll be like, right, boys, line up.
This one.
Can we make it that if you Google am I gay or straight quiz or anything like that, you're the first link and it just leads straight into a Zoom call with you?
Yeah. That feels more appropriate and it would be adult and opt
How
in.
about it opens, it's just me with my tits out and they go, ugh, and I'm like, okay, gay.
Good luck.
All the best, never see you again.
Let me know if you want to experiment. I mean, that I think would be quite a good service to offer. The online version.
The inverse of which was the first time one of the first times I had hung out with Ellen. You know her. Helen was going around a table in Edinburgh.
No, I hate the way you tell
Hang
this
on,
story.
and I was actively encouraging / facilitating
You
it.
forced me.
No,
What did you do?
She was just dropping her tits on the heads of lesbians. A weighted beanbag, and every single one of them, it was like a confirmation test of lesbianism because all of the women who were gay, the straight women were like, the gay women, every single one of them went.
Wow. Jodie, it was so awful.
That sounds amazing.
I didn't really know I knew Catherine, Ellen, and Charlie.
Wait, but how did it start, Helen? How
I
did
didn't
it
really know anyone else
start?
that well. And Catherine was G&T drunk. And Catherine's G&T drunk is the aunt at the wedding that's just everyone's probably going to wrap it up soon. She's like, Abba Mega Mix.
On the table.
I'm like, espresso martinis for everybody!
So I arrived and Catherine was like, I know what will bring the group together because it was
It's her
standing
party
inside
trick.
me. So I had to go around and drop my breast. And then I realised I hadn't introduced myself to people. So I'd go like, oh, boom. Hi, I'm Helen, by the way. I'm friend of Catherine.
And they were all like, oh, thank you so much.
Wow.
No, they had the greatest night of their lives.
Yeah, no, honestly, I think that's beautiful.
Isn't it nice?
It's like a therapet, but with breasts. Which, as someone that's allergic to dogs, I mean, that would be
You're
great.
allergic to
I'll do it
dogs?
to you if you want. I mean, after
sure,
the recording, I'd be more than happy. I feel like we've got enough footage of me having my tit dropped on someone's head.
Yeah.
But I'd
But
love
I just
to.
think it's a service that's beautiful.
Isn't it nice?
And I'm sure you did really bring the group together.
You did. You bonded everybody.
Yeah, I think, but then I had that thing of like, you know, when you're like, I've just done something really big in the group and now I need to go get myself a drink. And then that feeling of like, I've got to go get a drink, but like, there's no way this is not the topic of conversation.
Yeah. When I depart, they're gonna discuss it, and we did, but in a nice way.
You
In a
promise?
nice way. Yeah, promise.
Okay, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll come to Pride this weekend and do that.
That'd be so nice.
Free boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
I'll be in, all right, anyone want to find me? I'll be in the centre of Soho Square and you'll see me because I'll be like this, just waiting. And any lesbian that walks past is just going to get dropped on the head.
It's Pride this weekend. What are you doing, Jodie?
I think I'm going to go and have a little party.
Yes.
That's what I'm doing.
Yes.
Nice.
Party.
Yeah.
And is that like
Nice.
a
Bit of
everyone
pride.
watches Sugar Rush on YouTube?
Yeah,
or-
it's a mutual fap off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fucking
exactly
knew it!
what you
I
thought.
fucking knew
Yeah.
that's what you guys do!
I shouldn't be talking about it.
Jodie, you're doing Edinburgh Fringe.
I am.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun.
Which is probably known as the ultimate group fap off.
Yeah, it really is.
That is a
Fair.
big group fap
That's
off.
a long fap off. You
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
have
yeah,
some
yeah,
stamina
yeah,
for
yeah,
that
yeah,
fap off.
yeah.
So you're going, what's your show called?
It is called Becoming John Travolta.
Yes!
Which Helen and I did a radio interview the other day where the interviewer had to say Travolta and Helen just started giggling.
He said John Travolta. And I was like, be professional, Helen, be professional. The mics are on and I couldn't breathe for about 5
so
minutes.
funny.
Immediately undermined the professional tone of the interview.
And you were trying to talk about your show. And I was like,
It is a very funny name.
Vulva!
You know,
Was it a dragon?
I want Helen in every show.
Please.
Yeah.
So wait, so first debut hour?
Debut hour, yeah. It's
Exciting,
happening.
nervous. Where will you be? Oh my God, Helen, get it together. Where will you be? The Pleasance?
I'm doing the Pleasance below.
Pleasance below is not, it's a pity it's
Yeah.
not beneath, but below is pretty good for vulva.
It's good, it's good.
And what time?
It is at 10 to 10 in the evening.
Very exciting. Can you get it together?
It's like a volcano. No, it's because you get wet.
Helen's gotten so much out of the show
Yeah,
that I didn't intend to
Yeah,
be
I think
there.
you could do this as your opening 10, honestly.
Yeah.
So wait, are you going to be John Travolta for the whole show?
Giveaway. Will it
Intrigue!
be or will it not be?
Intrigue.
Reveals.
Oh my
Tell
gosh,
me off mic
exciting.
though, right?
Yeah.
Exciting.
Actually, no, we're
Tell you what,
previewing
so-
together. Well, I'll
Oh
find
yeah,
out.
you'll see it. See it and tell
I
everyone.
love watching you do stand-up as John, so I think it's going to be an amazing show. You should go see it. If you like what Helen and I do, you'll love Jodie's show. I have no
True.
doubt
Even more.
about it.
Even
yeah,
more.
probably.
How about that?
Yeah,
Thanks.
I think they're gonna love it. I really think TrustyHogs fans would adore your act.
That's
Agreed.
very
there you
kind
go.
of you. They do clearly have
Five
great
straight
taste.
men
Thank
listeners.
you. Oh yeah.
Take a risk, guys.
Listen,
you know?
go know what a vulva is. Hey, why not? I assume
Yeah.
that's part of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Yeah, you'll
good.
love it, Helen.
It's
You'll
the
love
whole thing, though, isn't it?
What?
No, it's the hood. It's the clit hood. Wait. Don't. No, I know this. I do know this.
This
Why am I
is
looking at
hard to
Andrew?
watch.
Absolute
Are
waste
you
of my
trying to
time.
figure out how much of the genital counts as the vulva?
It's the
Is that what
vulva.
you're-
The vulva is like the thing, isn't it?
It's the whole thing.
It's the whole thing.
The whole
Yeah.
thing.
I said that first, and then you went both quiet, so I thought I'd got it wrong, so I panicked to start saying the hood.
the
The hood.
A lot
the
going
hood.
on there. And then the vagina is the.
The hole.
Hey, Andrew, you got a problem for us and Jodie? Oh, before we do actually, Jodie, what kind of advice giver are you?
Listen, advice, it ranges. It ranges from useful to surreal nonsense, but I'm going to do my best to engage.
Okay. I love an advice giver who's like, oh, I'll try to listen. That's
This is
never
gonna be
good.
fucking
Never
useless.
good.
It's gonna be-
Never good. I
No,
like
I
that.
love a problem. I like to space hold.
Oh,
Andrew, give me a
great.
queer problem, and I'll take it.
Oh,
For the room, I'll
Andrew
take
probably
it.
already lined up the
I've got
problem.
a very engaging one.
Great, great.
If
love
you're
engaging.
trying to engage, I think you'll like this one.
All right, Andrew,
I'm
who's
ready.
it from?
This is from Jay.
Hi, Jay.
Before I start, can I just say I'm very aware this sounds made up and more like something that happens in EastEnders, but this is 100% true.
We've
We're
watched
in.
that.
Second EastEnders shout out for this podcast.
We're
today.
in.
I don't know how to explain it succinctly, so let's go. My mum is in her 50s and has never settled down. Her average relationship time is about 5 years. She's had a variety of boyfriends over the last 30 years, including multiple drug addicts, abusers, and losers.
Wowzers.
She has terrible
Jay.
taste in men.
Yikes, Jay. Savage.
A few of the drug addicts had very good hearts, but obviously were the source of much chaos. Anyway.
Addicts are people. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, I've luckily managed to come out of this upbringing with a very level head on my shoulders. My younger brother was less fortunate and went to rehab last year for an addiction, amongst other things. Yeah. This followed around 15 years of problems, and he's finally celebrated 6 months clean, which is the most amazing news.
Incredible news. Congratulations.
Congrats.
Woohoo.
We're both gay men in our alien... Oh, God, Christ alive, sorry.
What happened there? Did you spit by accident?
Are you alright? Did you
No.
start to drool when these brothers were both gay?
They're both gay men.
both gay men. Two gay brothers. Yes, Andrew, it happens.
Both gay men in our early 30s and get on really well. I'm very proud of him. Anyway, here's the drama. Recently, my mum got a new
Wait a
boyfriend.
second. We're only getting to the drama?
Yeah.
I'm loving the context.
That was
Strong
important
context.
context. Here we go.
Gay men know how to spin a yarn, and I'm
They
already
really
into it.
do.
Yeah.
Here's
This is
the
actually
drama.
just one of the background stories from the porn.
You're not far off, actually. Recently, Mum got a new boyfriend. I met him last Christmas, and he seemed like the usual, sort of down and out, and I thought she could do much better. But he wasn't totally awful, so I wasn't that worried.
So harsh on the mom, Jay.
Really. He was in his early 40s, which felt about right for Mum. She likes a younger man. I called my brother for a general catch-up and asked if he'd met this guy yet. His response was, "Is she definitely with him then?" I thought this was odd. But you never know with Mum. I said
I have
yes.
I have a guess.
What's your guess?
Are we allowed to guess the drama?
Go on.
The
He's a gay man.
brother and the new boyfriend are hooking up.
Yeah.
Sorry for screaming. Oh my god, I could totally write EastEnders. Go on, please go on.
My brother dropped the absolutely insane bombshell that he and my mum's new boyfriend once shared a bed together while on drugs and kissed and groped for the entire night.
Wow.
Wait, which drug? Because MDMA, that could, like, everybody's touchy-feely on MDMA.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't work for me. I think it's my ADHD. It just neutralizes the MDMA.
Are you fucking that's mad?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry. So I would have just laid there like a little stiff cardboard, being like,
Whoa.
Maybe it was Calpol or paracetamol. We don't know.
yeah.
Wait a second, so they did drugs together and hooked up.
Yeah.
Is there more?
The brother told the mum, and the mum said, "Well, we kissed years and years ago anyway," as if the question of who had him first is the real issue.
Oh.
My brother can't get over this and doesn't know what to do. He feels betrayed by Mum and doesn't really want to speak to her unless this relationship ends. What shall I do? I want my brother to have the support he needs in recovery, and I'm really annoyed with my mum for choosing this new boyfriend over him. The problem is, this is typical of her. I think she has codependency issues. When it comes to men, she does not see straight. Well, neither do you. Sorry.
Sick burn.
Do my brother and I just sit and wait for the relationship to inevitably end? Because it will, but that might take years. What should we do? Any
I've
advice?
got
Thank
the
you.
quick one, just really quickly before we
sweet
get into
God,
what
I'm
you
never
actually do.
excited when she says quick.
You're about to make the quickest £250 you've ever made, okay? Take a Break magazine, make some stories like this. They pay 250 quid a pop if you're willing to send them 5 personal photographs. I don't want to talk about how I know this, okay? So you send them photographs, you write out the story. To be honest with you, you've done most of the legwork there, and then you get 250 quid, and then you can deal with the rest of it after that. But that should be your first port of
They're more
call.
likely to print it if it turns out that the new boyfriend is a ghost, but that's just from me.
Yeah,
was
but
my
maybe
writing.
throw that in just as a
Yeah, why not?
yeah. Get creative.
Wow.
It's so good, Jay. This is so good.
That's a juicy issue.
You must be such a good first date just for that story alone. Like
lot
you'd be like,
going on
wowzers.
there. Lot going on there. I want to, on the one hand, be incredibly sensitive, but on the other hand, you write your own life with such, I suppose, like intrigue and gossipy like tone that I think it's
incredible.
okay for us to talk about this. That's really hard to know what to do. I think that the priority here is exactly as you have identified, Jay, which is like
You're the one that's left out to get with the guy as well.
what?
No. What were you going to say?
That's so upsetting.
Well, you don't want to be like the only one at family Christmas who hasn't had him, you know? Because then that's sad, isn't it? Like, you don't want to be left out. I'm a middle child, so I never want to be like left out.
We can tell.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking more like the priority is your brother's well-being at this particular time.
Yeah.
And that...
Really?
Yeah, 6 months into sobriety, that's such a delicate time.
Yeah.
And he needs you more than your mom needs you right now, it sounds like.
Oh, this guy.
And I think that I would say, like, to my mum, that this is what my brother needs from you. I need to prioritize his well-being. But if you can't give it to him, if you can't be supportive of him, then I'm going to have to just, like, give him my full support. And if that means, that, like, him not seeing you for a while this plays out, then so be it. Don't you think?
Yeah, I'm with that.
Yeah.
6 months in.
Yeah. So
And
wanna
money
give the
helps with
support.
support. So the take a break thing would, like, that £250 goes a long way into, like, doing things without alcohol and
I don't
drugs, like
think
bowling.
that we were necessarily leaning into the take a break thing so much as like the supporting your brother thing.
Yeah, but that's part of it, isn't it? Because, like, financial support is also a form of support.
Like, I feel for the mom. I actually do feel for the mom. There's obviously something going on. If you are willing to be with a partner who diminishes your relationship with your child and who has been with your child sexually and who both of your children have an issue with, you obviously have like a core need that's not been met in you for like love and relationship. So I do have a huge empathy for her, but I think like you have to prioritize your brother.
Yeah. Or that situation at the very least needs a big talk out. It needs
Yeah.
brother and mum and other brother all sitting down together being like, how do we deal with this? The guy, just a picture of the guy nude on the wall, obviously.
I worry about that context though, because it feels like that could be really triggering for the brother, and also the mother could feel ganged up on. So if anybody's going to have a talk out,
it needs to be coming.
Jay and do you think?
And well, I more mean like that it feels like it's the mum that's kind of creating this situation, right? So the onus should be on her to be like, I'm in a space hold. What do you need? How are you feeling? What do we do?
What does
I'm going to listen to you.
mean, Jodie? Because it sounds important, but I thought it was like when you keep somebody's seat at the cinema.
I mean, that's also space holding.
Okay, great.
Also valid.
Great.
But I just mean creating like emotional safety for him to talk about what's
like
going on for him.
holding space for a
yeah,
person.
exactly.
Okay.
So just being like, this time is for you to tell me how you're feeling, and then I'll respond to it lovingly without dismissing you.
Or welcome God into your lives. There's another option.
Worked for us.
It definitely did. Yeah, that seems like the solution.
Gives you that special skill to just not think about the thing that's playing on your
Yeah.
mind.
Because it costs a lot to have someone come in and like run these discussions. But if you invite like a Jehovah's or something in, they probably do it for free.
Just
called
suppress those
witnesses.
feelings.
Witnesses, you invite a witness in. Yeah.
Are they called witnesses?
I assume so. I was just being silly.
Oh.
I thought that was like a learning moment.
Remember the podcast?
You could like use God to shame your mum into getting rid of him.
Andrew, if you're a Jehovah's Witness, are you a witness or a Jehovah?
That's a good question. I'll find out.
Because Jehovah's the God, right? So the witness would be
Jehovah.
the person who witnesses Jehovah.
Oh, that's interesting. I did not know that Jehovah was a god.
It's like isn't Jehovah the like spirit or the?
Ooh.
There's a name for the spirit.
Andrew, what's it? Tell me.
They're just called Jehovah's Witnesses, so I assume they'd be witnesses. Yeah.
Yeah, but what are they witnessing Jehovah, and what is Jehovah?
What is Jehovah? One
Really
second.
good
Tell us,
question,
Andrew.
actually.
What is
And
Jehovah?
Jay, this is actually
I thought
helpful for you when you
Jehovah-
think
sorry.
about it.
Jehovah is a Hebrew name of God.
Yeah.
Oh.
What up? I do know some stuff.
Well, then get some Jehovah's Witnesses in and like talk it through with them.
Again, to circle back, I'm not sure that's the way. I think that you're right. I think the mom should hold space, but I honestly don't. I'm going to
it's
say
not
it.
gonna
I
happen.
don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I think you have to protect and take care of your brother right now. And
do a juice cleanse, maybe.
there's a. Can you take your clip off your? Yeah, thank you. Clip off your lip. Thank you. What a mad thing to have to ask an adult woman to do. Can you take your hair clip off your lip while we discuss this
Did it
very
feel
serious
nice?
problem?
Yeah.
Nobody's playing devil's advocate. So I would just say there's probably someone at home, probably not because we have great listeners, but there's probably someone at home being like, shouldn't the brother just get over it?
No. I mean, the thing is, the brother's feelings about it are real and quite valid.
Yeah.
The mum is
Good
not...
to distinguish between those.
Yeah.
Because now I'm like, oh, so when people say my feelings are real, they don't necessarily mean valid.
Yeah, exactly. They're not ridiculous
valid.
feelings to
Yeah.
have. So Yeah, I think for Jay, it's about just behaving the best you can in the circumstances, because if other people are not behaving well, then you just have to, prioritise your brother being okay.
The first time me and my mum shared a guy, it was awkward, but you do get over it over time.
This is like my greatest fear.
Has that actually happened?
No, obviously not.
Okay.
I was assuming not.
Not that I know of.
I would have responded with more fear.
You can never be sure. Jodie,
like a
Jodie,
medical
look
marvel.
at me. Focus at me. Look at me. Hello.
Hi.
Where can people follow you on Instagram?
Oh, they can follow me at Jodie Mitch, etc.
Fabulous.
ETC.
Where can they find you on Twitter?
At Jodie Mitchell _. I remember.
Fabulous. What about, are you on TikTok?
No.
That's fine. Where can they see you at the Fringe? They can see you at the Pleasance at 10 to 10 in the Beneath.
In the below.
Yes.
Yes.
And the show is called Becoming John Travolta.
Yes.
And they can go see your queer lineup show, The Lol Word, at Soho Theatre.
Yes, come and see that.
And is there anything else you'd like to push?
Oh, just please come and see my work in progress shows so that I can,
Great.
write the show and stuff. That would be so
Come
great.
see me and Jodie
Fabulous.
4th of July in Bath.
Yes, at the
And
Comedia.
I did a shout out on BBC Radio Bath for this. If you are attending, my train gets in too late and the flapjackery will be shut. Jodie's never had a cherry bakewell. Was it
You
mentioned?
are relentless.
Yeah.
A cherry bakewell flapjack, and they've got a new praline hazelnut thing.
unreal.
I'd love 2 of those. Thank you so
You were
much.
going to say one and then
Okay.
I'd love one. I'd love 2 of those.
Neil also likes them. So
I
thank
want
you
one.
so
3.
much.
3.
3. Okay, you know what? Could you get that box of 10 different flapjacks? Because Andrew probably like a couple. Thank you so much. We'll look forward to seeing you there with our gifts.
Jodie Mitchell, everybody! Thank you so much to our executive producers, Guy Goodman, Simon Morris, Mary Fox, Annie Tonner, Sarah Jarque-Deakin, Oliver Jago, and Stuart Kerr. We are so grateful. You are so generous. Thank you so much.
Rock my fucking world. And here's to our amazing producers, Richard Bicknell, Elle, Richard Bold, Neil Redmond, Victoria Hutchison, Emma Walton, Harald van Dijk, Tim and Dom, David Walker, Rachel R, Anthony Conway, Sadie Cashmore, Claire Owen-Jones, Jess Nick, Zoe, Sarah Molly, Raia Fink, Cordelia, Rachel Page, Helen A, Tina Linsey, Graham Marsh, Amy O'Riordan, Abbie Worf, Kie Web, Matt Sims, Luke Bright, Leah, Kate Spencer, Mae Williams, Tristin, Liz Fort, Taz Clow, Becky Fox, Amy, and Emily G.
That hurt my face.
Honestly, I'm going to go up for some more acting
I
stuff,
have a
think.
headache. I have a headache. Thank you so much for supporting our podcast.
Thank you so much.